Use this black iron key to open the gate to the instance, and you survive one more day in this monster-infested apocalypse. But, while everyone else fights tooth and nail over keys, I toss mine straight into the furnace along with my bread. They all laugh, calling me a fool. But what they do not know is that this is exactly the key to my survival in this brutal new world. Just moments ago, searing pain tore through me. My eyes snap open, and beneath me lies a rough wooden floor. Blood still pours from my mouth, and my body is riddled with bullet holes and stab wounds. As a top-tier international mercenary, my mission was to rescue a corporate executive in northern Myanmar, but the operation that should have gone perfectly turned out to be a trap set for me. Even though I killed the traitors with everything I had, I was already mortally wounded. I forced myself to sit up, confused, scanning my surroundings. This is a tiny wooden cabin, less than 100 square feet, with one door and one window. Through the window I look outside and see a small patch of barren ground, maybe 300 square feet. At the edge of this land hovers a faintly glowing gateway, and beyond it lies pure nothingness. Absolute void, no shapes, no light. Before I can keep observing, the violent pain in my body makes me clench my brow, and the bloody foam in my mouth makes me choke. I feel myself dying. But the very next second, a colossal voice resounds in my mind and in the minds of billions across the world. Deployment of all 8 billion humans on Blue Star complete. Individual physical functions have been reset to initial form. Welcome to the Crucible of Worlds, Infinite Survival. Please pay attention to the following rules. They are the key to your survival. Right after, a blue panel pops up before me, with each rule appearing one by one. Rule 1. The safe house is the cornerstone of your survival. Cherish it, and keep upgrading it. A small hint. Safe houses come in different types. Rule 2. Leaving the 300-foot radius of your safe house at any time will result in instant death. If a safe house is completely destroyed, its owner dies simultaneously. Rule 3. The Crucible of Worlds is made of countless shattered world lattices. You may enter instance lattices through gateways to explore. Instances refresh weekly and are your only source of resources. Always keep an eye on the extraction timer. Rule 4. The Purgatory battlefield will descend periodically. All safe houses will be forcibly deployed to defend against monster waves. Survive and you earn a score and rewards. Rule 5. The Universal Survival System has been activated. Survivors of Blue Star struggle on. As the announcement ends, the world falls back into dead silence, as if the voice was just a hallucination. But I know it is all real, because my body really is rapidly healing, all the way back to full health. I clench my fist. I feel incredibly powerful. With a single thought, a pale blue holographic screen unfolds before my eyes. Across the top are several tabs: World Channel, Regional Channel, Trade Market, Player Profile, and Safe House. I tap the World Channel first, and the screen instantly floods with messages. Damn it, I'm at an Antarctic research station. Why am I in some crappy wooden hut? Ha ha ha, my safe house is a stone fortress. Starting durability 500. You wood-rotting trash, get ready to be ripped apart by monsters. What are you bragging about? I got an elemental spire with built-in fire affinity. Anything that comes near gets torched. Anyone open their chest yet? I got a black iron fire axe and a loaf of bread. At least I feel a little safer now. I scan through quickly, filtering out the useless emotional venting, searching only for key information, special safe houses, and chests, and black iron items. I remember the system mentioned this. I exit the noisy World Channel, and notice a small info icon on the system panel. I tap it, and sure enough, it shows the rules from the initial broadcast. In addition, it explains the item tier system, ranked as black iron, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, starshine, lunar, and solar. 9 tiers in total. I then open the Safe House panel, and a line of information clearly displays before my eyes. Safe House, Omni Cabin, Level 1, Durability 100/100, Defense 5, Energy Reserve, not activated. Please install an energy type module first. Installed modules, none. Upgrade conditions, blueprint not unlocked. Safe House not yet bound. Bind to Omni Cabin? My eyes widen slightly, and the corners of my mouth instinctively curl up. I really did get a special safe house! I bind immediately. The instant the command is given, a hexagonal crystal shoots out from the gateway and dives straight into my body. The very next second, a purple-black cube, looking like it could contain all things, springs from my chest. The Omni Cube. My full attention is fixed on this dark cube. When my fingertip touches its cold surface, a stream of information floods my mind, and a brand new interface unfolds in my consciousness. Omni Cube, Level 1, Synthesis slots 2 halves. Rules of synthesis. 1. When the cube is at level N, it can synthesize items up to level N+1. 2. Synthesis follows the laws of matter recombination and energy conservation. Insert materials to attempt synthesis. 3. Synthesis takes time, and may be accelerated by injecting energy. 4. Within these rules, all things can be synthesized. Synthesize anything. What an absurdly powerful function. This means that as long as I have materials, I can craft anything I want. Based on this alone, those so-called special safe houses are nothing, because I can absolutely replicate anything similar, provided I have the materials. I take a deep breath and immediately start analyzing. The limits are clear: 2 synthesis slots, and a level 1 cube can only craft up to level 2 items, which means bronze tier. But the potential is limitless. As long as I upgrade the cube, I can craft higher tier gear, potions, and blueprints. I push down my excitement for now, because there are still other tabs to check. I open the player profile next. Name, Jensen. Tier rank, unranked. Stats, Strength 7, Constitution 8, Agility 6, Intelligence 8. A Blue Star human with already above average combat capability. Skills, none. Bloodline, none. Equipment, none. Title, none. Combat rating, peak mortal physique. Just then, that colossal voice rings in my mind alone once more. Survivor Jensen has completed worldview recognition, distributing initial survival pack. The instant the voice fades, a black chest drops onto the floor at my feet with a thud. I do not hesitate, stepping forward and opening it. Inside lie 3 loaves of black bread, 3 bottles of water, what looks like a water-damaged wooden flintlock pistol, a piece of crimson ore glowing with golden light, and a black iron key emitting a soft white glow. Black bread +3, purified water +3. Black iron water-damaged wooden flintlock pistol. With luck, it might still fire +1. Black iron material, crimson cloud refined iron +1. Tier 1 instance key +1. Just as I expected, all black iron items. And mine is even worse than most. Although the weapon is a firearm, from the description, there's almost no chance of it actually firing. Bringing this thing into an instance is no different from bringing nothing. I ignore the food and water, and pick up the water-damaged wooden flintlock pistol and the crimson cloud refined iron. With a thought, the 2 synthesis slots on the cube light up faintly. I place the pistol into the left slot and the crimson cloud refined iron into the right. Phantom images of both materials appear inside the synthesis slots, and the previously gray synthesize button at the center of the interface lights up. My mind races. 2 black iron materials can produce up to a bronze tier item. I do not hesitate any longer. With a single thought, I press the button. Synthesize. The phantom materials in both slots instantly disassemble, turning into 2 streams of matter that swirl and collide at the center of the interface, recombining. A brand new item's silhouette slowly takes shape within the bronze-colored light. Synthesizing. Estimated time remaining, 5 minutes. A countdown appears below the progress bar. 5 minutes is not long. I can absolutely wait, and for me, it is also a great time to gather intel. I open the regional channel. Compared to the world channel, where messages flood by too fast and most are meaningless, the regional channel clearly carries more valuable information. Region 10,086, 99,999 out of 100,000. 1 person already gone. Someone died this fast? The discussions among survivors in the channel never stop, and the information is more useful. Anyone got a key? Mine's black, I don't dare use it. Same. But the only weapon I got from my chest is a black iron knife. It looks like a dinner knife. Going in is suicide. Quit whining. Fortune favors the bold. I got a black iron longsword from my opening chest. If I don't risk it now, am I just gonna starve to death? Boys, I'll scout ahead. Wait for me to come back loaded with loot. A player with the ID Swordsman Sebastian speaks with bravado. After he sends that message, his avatar never lights up again. At first, no one realizes the problem. 10 minutes pass, then 20, and the player count in the upper right corner of the regional channel quietly ticks down. 99,998 out of 100,000. Another one dead. The channel falls into dead silence. The heated discussion from moments ago vanishes instantly. What about Swordsman Sebastian? Why hasn't he said anything? No way. Sebastian had a black iron longsword to start with. Did he die that fast? Just what kind of hellhole is this instance? Or could it be that once you enter the instance, you can't post in the regional channel anymore? That guess gives everyone a sliver of hope. But reality is far more cruel. 99,993 out of 100,000. The number ticks again, and this time 5 more vanish at once. That drop sends a chill through the survivors. But my eyes do not waver. No outside communication inside the instance. And a high death rate. That is normal. If it were just simple resource gathering, it would not be a prelude to the Purgatory battlefield. Remember, the system's rules clearly stated that the Purgatory battlefield will require facing monster waves. Just then, the Omnicube gives off a gentle pulse. Synthesis complete. Congratulations, you have obtained a bronze tier equipment. Deadwood Tactical Desert Eagle. Bronze-colored light swirls, and a weapon I know all too well rests quietly in the synthesis results slot. A Desert Eagle, but not in the common bright silver finish. Instead, its surface looks like wood, yet feels solid and metallic in the grip. I reach out and pull it from the light screen, feeling its heavy weight settle into my palm. It is dark in color, etched with intricate patterns, rich in texture. Deadwood Tactical Desert Eagle. Bronze tier. Level 2. Effect 1. Auto reload. 1 round automatically replenished per minute. Magazine capacity. 7 rounds. I stroke the Desert Eagle, holding it up and turning it side to side, unable to contain my delight. Now this is a real weapon. By comparison, the water-damaged wooden flintlock pistol from the starter pack is just trash. I glance at the regional channel again, where panic is now spreading through the chat. I'm not going, I'd rather die. I'm staying in my safe house, not moving anywhere. Yeah, ration the water and food, you can survive. Going into an instance is suicide. My gaze sweeps over these comments with cold indifference. These people are already eliminated. They have been eliminated, by their own fear. However much food they have, it lasts only a few days, and outside is nothing but void. To live, you must enter the instance. I stop paying attention to their wailing and turn my eyes back to my remaining supplies. 3 loaves of black bread and 3 bottles of purified water. Without hesitation, I drop 1 loaf and 1 bottle into the Omnicube's synthesis slot. Synthesizing, estimated time remaining 1 minute. Synthesis complete. Congratulations, you have obtained consumable high-energy nutrient gel ×1. A test tube containing a pale blue liquid appears before me. High-energy nutrient gel. Type, consumable. Effect, when consumed, fully replenishes the user's daily water, energy, and basic nutritional needs, and rapidly restores a small amount of stamina. I then spend another 2 minutes converting the rest of the food and water into nutrient gels. 3 vials are enough to sustain me through 3 days of high-intensity combat. Weapon, check. Supplies, check. I stand up and walk to the faintly glowing gateway hovering at the edge of the open ground. I take out the black iron key from my starter pack. I have considered trying to synthesize keys, but none of these materials seem compatible with the key, so I do not hesitate and use it directly. The key turns into a streak of light and dissolves into the gateway. The faintly glowing gateway flares brilliantly. Its interior twists and shifts, finally settling into a swirling vortex showing a ruined city street. At the same time, the cold system voice announces, Instance unlocked. Instance type, World Fragment, Sweep and Withdraw mode. Tier 1 instance, Abandoned Commercial Street, player count 10 out of 10. Extraction mission, collect black iron items times 5, and bronze tier items times 1. Extraction time 23 hours 59 minutes 59 seconds. Extraction location will be auto-marked by the system upon mission completion. Warning, death within the instance is real death. Proceed with caution. My gaze sweeps over the information and lingers on the words Abandoned Commercial Street. Urban environments? I know them well. I take a step forward and look around. There's an indescribable stench in the air. I'm standing in the middle of the street and the shops on both sides are stripped down to empty frames. Display windows are shattered, cobwebs hang everywhere, and dried bloodstains streak the walls. Several old cars sit at crooked angles, bodies rusted over, tires deflated, surfaces dented and cratered. One of them has a massive hole punched right through the middle, as if smashed by something violent. My eyes sweep across the area, analyzing where I can take cover, where the high ground is, and where danger might come from. I have 24 hours, with a mission to collect 5 black iron items and 1 bronze tier item. Wandering aimlessly on the streets is stupid and inefficient. I need to find a place packed with resources. My gaze quickly lands on a building at the corner of the street, a shopping complex. The exterior walls are battered, the billboards have lost their paint, but since it's a mall, there's bound to be plenty of supplies inside. In an apocalypse like this, a place like this offers great rewards, but also great risk. After only a moment of thought, I make my decision. Rather than carefully picking through shop after shop that's clearly been scavenged clean, I'd rather take a gamble and head to the mall. I need supplies, I need to complete the mission, and I need to make every minute count. 24 hours seems like a lot, but it's actually very little, because I not only need to gather materials to complete the mission, I also need to extract afterwards. Anyone who's played extraction games knows, extraction is always the hardest part. I tighten my grip on the Desert Eagle in one hand, lower my body, and use the wrecked cars for cover, sprinting silently and swiftly toward the mall entrance. My steps are light, my movements quick and alert, instincts honed through countless life or death missions. The mall's glass revolving door is shattered, leaving behind a dark, gaping entrance. I stop in the shadow of the doorway, tilting my head to listen carefully. Inside, there's only the faint whisper of wind. I don't rush in. I wait for my eyes to adjust to the darkness before slipping in like a cat. A heavier wave of mildew and rot hits me. The mall's first floor lobby is in chaos. Jewelry counters are smashed, cosmetic stands toppled over, products scattered everywhere. I don't stop. From experience, big supermarkets are usually on the lower level. That's where the canned goods, tools, and packaged foods I'm after will be. Soon, I find the escalator going down. It's long since stopped working, covered in a thick layer of dust, like a gray slide. I walk down it, keeping the Desert Eagle pointed into the darkness, ready for any sudden ambush. The metal gate at the entrance of the lower-level supermarket has been ripped open by some tremendous force, twisted into a tangled mess. Inside, it's even more wrecked. Shelves collapsed, rotten goods leaking black fluid, the floor littered with torn packaging. I ignore the spoiled food. My target is sealed industrial goods, and items that might be classified as black iron tier by the system. I head straight through the snack aisle toward the grains, oils, and outdoor gear section. Quickly, I spot a large pack of vacuum-sealed rice under a fallen shelf, with a few cases of lunch meat cans beside it. These won't complete the mission, but they will keep me alive. As I'm about to collect them, something dark blue catches the corner of my eye. It's an outdoor trekking pack, with thick fabric, clearly sturdy, far better than the makeshift bundle I'd been considering. I walk over and lift the pack, dust off the surface. It's heavy, with intact straps and support system. At the same time, a line of text appears before my eyes. Black iron heavy trekking pack. Effect, massive capacity, durable material, effectively distributes weight. I didn't expect to get my first black iron item this fast. I quickly stuffed the lunch meat and several bottles of water inside. With this pack, my scavenging efficiency will skyrocket. I keep moving deeper. On the tool aisle shelves, I find some new wrenches, but the system doesn't react. Looks like its tier criteria are strict. I'm about to leave when a metal toolbox pinned under the shelf catches my attention. The box is dented, but the lock is still latched. I crouch down, wedge a wrench into the gap of the latch, and pry it open hard. The lid pops up. There are no tools inside, only a folded blue blueprint, its edges glowing with a faint bronze halo. Congratulations, you have discovered a bronze blueprint. Simple combustion furnace module. Simple combustion furnace, bronze tier. Type, safe house facility module. Effect, once installed, your safe house will gain basic energy conversion ability, able to convert burning wood and other materials into power for the safe house, providing heat and cooking functions. A bronze tier item, the hardest part of the extraction mission, completed just like that, and it's a high-value safe house module blueprint to boot. Looks like my luck is good. The corner of my mouth lifts. This means as long as I make it back alive, my cabin will have an energy core, and I can cook with fire from now on. I quickly stow the blueprint away, feeling a lot more settled. Now I just need to find 4 more black iron items. I pick up the pace, finding a black iron emergency flashlight inside a fire cabinet, an unopened black iron kitchen knife set in the cookware section, and in a storage room, a black iron first aid kit. Pack, flashlight, knives, first aid kit, 4 black iron items collected. Just one more to go. With the heavy trekking pack on my back, I head back from the lower level to the mall's main hall. The supermarket has nothing more to offer. I'll need to check the upper floors. Just then, a piercing scream comes from the second floor, the voice cracking with terror, then cutting off abruptly as if someone had clamped a hand around the throat. Then, heavy footsteps boom out, the ground trembling beneath them. It sounds like an elephant on the upper floor. Every step makes the whole mall creak. The sound is heading downstairs. My body reacts faster than my mind. With a quick slide, I duck behind a fallen jewelry counter nearby, curling into the shadows, slowing my heartbeat and breathing. The next second, a man in a blue tracksuit comes tumbling down the second floor escalator on all fours. His face is deathly pale, running while glancing back, as if a ghost is chasing him. Spotting the mall's shattered entrance, he sprints desperately for the outside, but a massive black shadow is faster, leaping down from the top of the escalator. With a thunderous bang, the shadow slams into the middle of the first floor hall, cracking the marble floor. It's a monster, 8 feet tall, its body bloated and grotesque, with pale gray skin covered in pulsing dark red muscle. Its arms are abnormally thick, its hands warped into razor-like claws gleaming with cold light. Its head is even more revolting, its mouth split from one ear to the other, filled with rows of fangs. Drool drips onto the ground, hissing and steaming with white smoke. I stare at the thing before me. This is a muscle mutant, far more terrifying than any zombie. Something like the tank from Left 4 Dead. The monster lets out a roar. Its hind muscles flex and propel its massive body forward like lightning, catching up to the fleeing man in an instant. No! The man only manages one syllable before the monster's massive claw rips his body clean in half, spilling blood and entrails across the floor. I crouch behind the counter, watching coldly. I am not afraid. My mind is purely analyzing. The monster shoves the man's corpse into its mouth. The crunch of bones and the wet chewing sounds carry clearly through the dead silent mall. When it finishes, the monster raises its head and sniffs the air. It doesn't leave. Instead, it begins pacing the first floor hall with heavy lumbering steps. Just then, a cold voice echoes in my mind. Instance announcement, instance boss activated. Boss name, Tyrant Butcher. Kill notice, defeating an instance boss for the first time grants a special boss chest with a 100% chance of yielding bronze tier materials, plus a chance for additional rare rewards. Auxiliary function. The instance map has been unlocked early. The boss's location will be marked in real time. Map. Unlocked early. A flicker of doubt crosses my mind. Could it really be as I suspected? That the system interface inside the instance is different from outside? I'm about to open the system interface to check when the monster called the Tyrant Butcher suddenly freezes. Its massive head turns slowly, and a pair of pupilless, blood-red eyes pierce through the shadows, locking precisely onto the counter where I'm hiding. Reeking drool drips from its split mouth, corroding the marble floor and rising in clouds of white smoke. It has spotted me. I see clearly as its muscles bulge, its hind legs tensing, as if it's about to charge straight at me. Every muscle in my body tightens, my knuckles whiten on the gun from sheer pressure, ready to strike the moment it lunges and deliver a killing blow. But suddenly, new movement comes from the mall's shattered entrance. Walt, this is the place. The scream came from here. A tense voice cuts through the silence. Then 3 figures appear in the doorway. The man in front is broad-shouldered and powerfully built, clad in a heavy crude suit of black iron plate armor, carrying a massive black iron steel axe. The blood on the axe blade has already turned black, but the blade still glows with a golden sheen, revealing its considerable power. Behind him are 2 more, a tall, thin man holding a spear, and another who looks visibly afraid, gripping a fire axe tightly in his hand. These 3 were apparently drawn here by the scream and the boss activation announcement. The leader, Walter, immediately sees the corpse torn in half in the middle of the hall, guts strewn across the floor, and the hideous blood-soaked Tyrant Butcher with its gaping mouth. Damn, what the hell is that thing? The tall, thin man behind Walter curses under his breath, his knuckles white on the spear shaft. The other player has gone pale with fear, his calves trembling. Walter's own heart sinks too. Just the sight of this monster radiates raw menace. 8 feet tall, packed with dense muscle, blood still dripping from its claws. Every detail screams danger. This size, this raw power, it doesn't seem like something current players can handle. But Walter's gaze suddenly sharpens, the system's announcement echoing in his mind. First kill on the instance boss grants a special boss chest, 100% guaranteed bronze tier materials, plus a chance for rare extras. 100% bronze tier material, with extra rare rewards. The temptation instantly ignites the greed in his heart, shoving aside the fear that had just risen. Walter's safe house is a special type, a blacksmith forge, which comes with a built-in forging station. But what he lacks most right now is high-tier materials and blueprints. A single bronze tier material could push his strength to a whole new level. On top of that, he has the gear from his safe house, a full set of black iron plate armor and a black iron steel axe. With this gear, he's basically untouchable in early instances. Before coming here, Walter easily killed off zombies wandering the streets, found these 2 players, and teamed up with them to try their luck at the mall. What's there to be scared of? Walter growls low, his voice echoing in the empty hall, partly to embolden his teammates, partly to bolster his own courage. There are 3 of us. This beast may be tough, but it's only a tier -1 boss. Take it down and we strike it rich. This is just the first instance, the most basic boss. How strong can it really be? Don't forget about my gear. His words quickly replace the fear in the other 2's eyes with greed. He's right. The higher the risk, the higher the reward. Let's go big or go home. Their commotion successfully draws all of the tyrant butcher's attention. The monster gives up searching for me, slowly turns its head, and its eyes, filled with savagery and hunger, lock onto the three at the entrance. A deafening roar echoes through the empty mall. The tyrant butcher's hind muscles bulge violently, the marble floor cracking beneath its feet. Its massive body becomes a streak of pale gray afterimage, charging straight at Walter and his men. Spread out, I'll hold it, Walter roars, his massive axe held across his chest, his feet planted in a low stance, every ounce of strength channeled into his arms. The axe blade and the monster's claws collide violently, sparks bursting in a blinding shower. Walter feels an unstoppable, massive force slam into him, his feet ripped clean off the ground. He's hurled 15-20 feet back, slamming into a support pillar. His black iron plate armor groans under the strain. He cries out in pain. His two followers go pale. The tyrant butcher won't give them time to react. It charges again. A bloody battle erupts in an instant. Hidden on the other side, I watch all this with cold detachment, pack on my back, silently slipping into the shadows of another smashed-up jewelry store, putting safer distance between myself and the battlefield. Good. Let them test the boss's depth first. I don't rush to act. Instead, I open the system interface. Just as I suspected, the World Channel, Regional Channel, and Trade Market are all grayed out, unclickable. But two new icons have lit up at the bottom of the panel, Instance Map and Instance Channel. I open the Instance Map first. A simple top-down map of the commercial street appears, lines roughly drawn. At the location of the shopping complex, a glaring red skull icon is flashing intensely, representing the tyrant butcher. The map doesn't show the locations of other players, only the boss. I then open the Instance Channel. Instance Channel 9 out of 10. There's a boss in the instance, with guaranteed bronze tier material drops. Anyone going? We can team up. But it's a boss. Can we really take it down that easily? Going to check it out can't hurt. And even if it's a boss, what of it? I've got a black iron longsword, just took down 2 zombies easily. A boss can't be absurdly strong, can it? It's been a few hours already, and these shops are barely yielding anything. I'm 100% certain this mall is the richest spot for supplies. Take down the boss, and everyone's mission is complete. Messages flood the channel as more and more players, lured by the boss chest rewards, head toward the mall. From their messages, it sounds like getting tiered materials from other shops outside the mall is unusually difficult. If that's true, then to complete their missions and get out alive, they have to come here. I figure it out in an instant. Watching these conversations, my gaze grows even colder. The situation is more complicated than I expected. The more people who come, the more variables there are. Sometimes human greed is far more terrifying than a monster's claws. I need to prepare in advance. I take out my Deadwood Tactical Desert Eagle, skillfully ejecting the magazine. Brass-colored bullets fall one by one into my palm, cold and heavy. Then I grab a lighter from the supermarket and carefully extract the flint and some flammable cotton wick. Omnicube. With a single thought, a phantom cube of light materializes in my palm. I drop one bullet and a pinch of accelerant into one of its synthesis slots. Recipe confirmed, Black Iron Desert Eagle round plus common accelerant, synthesis time 30 seconds. This is an experiment. I'd already noticed that bullets from the Desert Eagle could be fully removed as independent items, so this time I'm trying to synthesize a new type of round. I'm also testing whether, once bullets are taken out, the Desert Eagle's auto-reload will still trigger when the magazine is empty. If yes, then the ammo limit is no real limit at all, as long as I prep in advance. 30 seconds later, a brand new bullet rests in the synthesis slot. The tip is no longer brass-colored. Instead, it's a transparent shell with what looks like flammable oil floating inside. Synthesis successful. You have obtained Black Iron Incendiary Round. Effect explodes on impact, dealing small area fire damage and scattering glass shards, inflicting persistent bleeding on unarmored targets. The corner of my mouth lifts. I immediately start mass converting. 1, 2, 3. I upgrade every round in my magazine into this lethal piece of artistry. 3.5 minutes later, 7 new incendiary rounds are ready. And just as I thought, 3 new rounds have automatically replenished in the magazine. With that done, I turn my gaze toward the mall hall, where the battle has reached fever pitch. A piercing, distorted scream. The man with only the fire axe failed to dodge in time. The tyrant butcher's claw catches him on the arm, which gets shredded like cheese under a high-speed cutter, ripped clean from the shoulder, flying through the air in a fountain of blood. David! Walter's eyes burn red. His armor is already battered with dents. A clear claw imprint sunk into his chest. The plate split open in several places. The boss's power and defense both far exceed what he imagined. He swings the axe down with everything he has, carving a wound a few inches deep, but it does nothing. The boss seems to feel no pain at all, and when the boss claws at him, his black iron plate armor tears like paper. Their offense and defense are completely mismatched. Walt, we can't hold! Let's pull back! The remaining tall, thin man's voice is shaking. Hold on a little longer. He can't take much more either. Walter grits his teeth, still fighting. The tyrant butcher doesn't care. With another savage roar from its bloody maw, it charges straight at David. David! Walter's eyes nearly split with rage, wanting to rush over and save him, but he's badly wounded himself, far too slow, able only to watch helplessly as the bloody claw rips David's body in half, blood spraying outward, flesh and entrails scattering across the floor. The next second, the tyrant butcher's blood-red eyes snap toward the tall, thin man. Just then, 3 more figures arrive at the mall entrance. The moment they step inside, they're frozen by the scene before them. The thick stench of blood, mixed with entrails, hits them like a wall, and one of them immediately starts dry heaving. A burly man in black iron plate armor, his armor severely twisted, is being pinned to the ground by a massive gray-skinned monster. The creature's claws carve deep gouges into the metal armor with ease, screeching horribly. Not far away lie two more corpses, their entrails and flesh smeared across the marble floor. Ha! Help me! Walter, pinned by the monster, veins bulging in his neck, struggles to turn his head, sees the three at the entrance, eyes full of desperate desire to live, but the three at the entrance are shaking violently, frozen in place, their faces full of terror. So this is an instance boss. This is nothing like the fortune favors the bold they were chatting about in the channel. They thought no matter how strong the boss was, it was just a stat block monster, that with enough numbers you could grind it down. But what they're seeing now isn't a battle, it's a one-sided slaughter. Run, run! One of the smaller men is the first to snap out of the horror. His lips trembling, he turns to flee. Wait! The leader, the tall man, grabs his shoulder. His eyes still hold fear, but greed dominates. Look at that monster, it's also covered in wounds. At his urging, the other two force back their nausea and look more carefully. Sure enough, the tyrant butcher, fearsome as it is, also has deep, bone-visible wounds, gray blood still flowing from chest and back. Walter and his teammates fought to the death, and they did do real damage to this monster. Maybe it's about to drop. Maybe one more push and they can really take it down. The thought sets greed surging through all three of them. Fortune favors the bold. We've got three people, that thing's alone, and it's almost dead. We have a shot. The tall man lowers his voice, breathing heavily now, a maddened gleam in his eyes. And it's not like we don't have weapons. What's there to be afraid of? Watching the changing expressions on the three at the entrance, Walter immediately guesses what they're thinking. They want to play vulture. Wait until I get torn apart, then swoop in for the loot. Dream on. Roar! The tyrant butcher, irritated by Walter's struggling, lets out a roar and raises a glinting claw, ready to bring it down on Walter's head. Just then a flash of fierce resolve crosses Walter's eyes. With every ounce of strength, he rolls hard and somehow slips free from between the monster's claws. He scrambles toward the three at the entrance, shouting, "You sons of bitches trying to leave me to die? I'm dragging you down with me!" The three at the entrance go pale. They didn't expect Walter to pull this kind of move. The tyrant butcher, having lost its target, rolls its blood-red eyes and instantly locks onto Walter and the three new prey behind him. Its massive body turns into a streak of gray shadow, a foul wind trailing behind it as it gives chase. The tall man curses, no longer thinking about loot. Only one word remains in his head. Run. He bolts. The other two are scared witless and stumble after him deeper into the mall, and the direction they're fleeing in is exactly where I'm hiding, the jewelry store. I watch this farce coldly, calculating my moment to strike. I didn't expect these idiots would drag the trouble straight to me. Death wish, I think coldly. I'm crouched in the jewelry store's shadows, behind a glass counter. It's too late to retreat now. They're coming fast, dragging the boss right with them. The three players come barreling in, panicked. One of them slips, loses his balance, and slams hard into the very counter I'm hiding behind. The thunderous crash sounds especially jarring in this quiet corner. My position is instantly exposed to everyone's view. The three fleeing players freeze, faces draining of color. They didn't expect someone else to be hiding in this hellhole, but only for a moment. One of them gets a vicious glint in his eye. He leads the charge past behind me, grabbing a wooden plank off the ground and hurling it at me. The other two catch on and do the same. I dodge the planks easily, but the three have already run off, and right in front of me, the butcher is closing in. Sorry, brother. A malicious voice drifts from where the three fled. My expression doesn't change, but I have already passed a death sentence on all three. The pursuing tyrant butcher lets out a roar, its blood-red eyes landing on me as I stand up from the shadows. Walter, also catching up, freezes for a moment when he sees me. Then a twisted smile splits his face. He too plans to slip away while I draw the boss's attention. But the tyrant butcher does not even glance at the new prey. On its hate list, the first one to deal it major damage, Walter, must die first. The monster's muscles and bones explode with force, the marble floor cracking beneath its feet, and its massive body surges forward with overwhelming momentum, leaving Walter, who is about to make his escape, time only for one strangled scream. The next second, the monster's claw punches straight through his chest with no resistance, blood gushing out like a fountain. The tyrant butcher opens its massive mouth and bites Walter's neck clean off with a sharp crunch, then flings the body aside. It slowly turns around, its blood-red eyes locking onto me. In its mind, I am the next meal. As for the three who maliciously set me up, they have now reached a shop further away, watching this hellish scene unfold, barely able to breathe. Walter, who in their eyes was practically untouchable in his black iron plate armor, was killed as easily as a toy. Leon watches the scene, his voice trembling uncontrollably as he turns to the leader, Trevor. Trev, are we really still going to fight that monster? Is it really something we can handle? At his words, the chubby one beside him, Leo, also looks at Trevor. Trevor is shaking too, but his eyes harden with viciousness. What's there to be afraid of? We agreed before we came and we've got weapons. Let this guy take the heat for us first. When it's distracted, we strike. Leon and Leo exchange a glance. In the end, greed wins out over fear. They remember the weapons they found earlier in a shop, and nod firmly. On my side, the tyrant butcher moves. It does not charge like before. Instead, it advances toward me with heavy, deliberate steps. Each footfall sends a faint tremor through the floor. Having killed several people in a row, it is now drenched in blood, radiating an intense menace. I slowly raise my right hand, the oddly shaped Deadwood Tactical Desert Eagle in my grip, aiming straight at the closing monster. Watching this, the three players' eyes flash with shock. A pistol? Are you kidding me? He has a gun? But what happens next they will never forget for the rest of their lives. A sharp gunshot cracks through the hall, and a bullet tears through the air, striking the tyrant butcher's right eye dead center. The eyeball bursts instantly, foul-smelling dark green fluid mixed with shredded flesh splattering everywhere. The agony makes the tyrant butcher let out an ear-splitting roar. It thrashes its claws wildly, its huge body recoiling from the pain. Before it can steady itself, bang, another shot. The bullet drills spinning into its other, undamaged eye, both eyes blinded. The tyrant butcher goes completely berserk, thrashing like a maddened bull, claws swinging wildly, charging blindly toward where it remembers me being, the wind from its movement biting at the cheeks. But I have already shifted position. Every move I make is smooth and precise, perfectly avoiding the monster's attacks. At the same time, the desert eagle in my hand fires again and again, each bullet wreathed in orange flame, flying with deadly accuracy into the wounds Walter had carved into the tyrant butcher. The moment each bullet hits, a small fireball bursts inside, scorching the flesh around the wound, producing sizzling, meat-roasting sounds and a vile burnt stench. Worse still, countless tiny glass shards spray out from each blast, embedding deep into the bloody wounds, causing continuous agonizing pain. The tyrant butcher's movements grow slower and slower, its roars shifting from rage to weak whimpers. The three who had planned to play vulture are now completely stunned. Their mouths hang open but no sound comes out. They cannot comprehend what is happening before their eyes. The monster that brutally slaughtered several people, the monster that made them tremble with fear, the monster they hesitated and probed before daring to attack. In front of me, it is nothing but a plaything being toyed with. Finally, after the 7th gunshot, the last incendiary round arcs through the air and lands precisely inside the tyrant butcher's roaring open mouth. The next second, flames erupt inside its body, a muffled explosion sounding from deep within its belly, orange firelight even glowing through its scorched eye sockets. The tyrant butcher's massive body suddenly stiffens, all motion ceasing. It stands frozen for a few seconds, then crashes to the ground, kicking up a cloud of dust. The next second, its body dissolves into light and disappears. Immediately after, an announcement rings out for all remaining players in the instance. Congratulations to player Omni, who has successfully killed the Tier 1 instance boss, Tyrant Butcher. A special bronze chest has been awarded. A chest glowing with an ancient bronze light slowly materializes where the monster's body vanished. The entire mall hall falls into instant dead silence. I blow at the imaginary smoke from the muzzle of my gun, and walk expressionlessly toward the winner's chest. Watching this absurd scene, the three swallow hard in unison, exchanging glances, seeing the same shock in each other's eyes. Leon struggles to speak. Should we still go through with it? The chubby Leo is just as terrified. Remembering what they did to me earlier, he can't stop shaking. Maybe we should just run. He has a gun. We just screwed him over. He's going to kill us in a minute. Hearing this, Leon snaps back to reality and shouts in panic. Yeah, Trev, let's get out of here. Trevor grips the weapon in his hand, the shock in his eyes slowly fading as reason returns. The gun. If he isn't mistaken, the weapon in that man's hand looks like a desert eagle. The reason Trevor knows this so well is because back on Blue Star he loved going to overseas shooting ranges. And that gun, although a little strange looking, he is certain is a desert eagle. With this thought, he grows more composed. If he counted right, the gun fired 7 times. He's most likely out of bullets. Trevor looks at the bronze chest, greed surging back. He turns to the other two. What's there to fear? He's got a gun, but we have ranged weapons too, don't we? Besides, I'm sure that's a desert eagle. A desert eagle holds 7 rounds and he just fired all 7. I'm almost 100% sure he's out of bullets. Leon's eyes flicker with doubt, but his fear of firearms isn't easily dispelled. But Trev, what if he has more than 7 rounds? Leo nods rapidly, clearly agreeing. Trevor lets out a cold laugh and counters. Let me ask you, if you had a gun and bullets, could you hold back after someone just set you up like that and not pull the trigger? Right. The two immediately catch on. No way you could, so he must be out, otherwise he'd have come for us already. Trevor grows more confident in his theory. That's exactly why he's bluffing over there, trying to grab the chest and run. In that case, what's there to fear? Right, you're making sense, the chest is right there. We're not the ones who should be scared, he is. Greed completely takes over. Trevor finally raises his weapon, a simple crossbow they found in an outdoor goods store on the commercial street. The bolt aims straight at me. Trevor lifts the black iron simple crossbow. That was their find from the outdoor goods store. The black bolt gleams coldly, the sight locked precisely on me as I walk toward the chest. Trevor takes a deep breath. A theory is just a theory. When it actually comes time to act, there's still a hint of nervousness. He forces himself calm and shouts, "Hold it!" His voice cracks from the strain, dragging unnaturally and breaking as it echoes through the hall. My steps pause. I don't turn around. I only shift slightly to the side, glancing at the 3 fools out of the corner of my eye. In my eyes, these 3 are already corpses. I had planned to secure the chest first and deal with them properly afterward. I didn't expect these idiots would try to make a move on me first. Leave the chest, then get lost. We can pretend nothing happened. Trevor grips the crossbow, forcing his voice steady, trying to control the situation. Beside him, Leon and Leo, seeing Jensen make no movement, feel their theory turning into reality. Their nerve grows, and they immediately join in. That's right, you hear him? Leave the stuff, be smart and run. Our bolts don't have eyes. I suddenly laugh. A quiet sound, filled with pure mockery. I find these 3 pitifully stupid. The laughter strikes a nerve in Trevor, his face instantly turning beet red. What the hell are you laughing at? He roars, spit flying. Your gun's out of bullets, isn't it? I counted them. Exactly 7 shots, no more, no less. I know my guns. A Desert Eagle's magazine holds 7. I suggest you put down that piece of junk too. Otherwise, the next second, this bolt I specially coated with corpse poison goes through your skull. I turn around without speaking, answering with action instead. With a faint mechanical click, I slowly raise my right hand. The Deadwood Tactical Desert Eagle, which the 3 believe is empty, once again pointed at them. The simple gesture makes the air in the entire hall feel suddenly oppressive. Of course I know the bullet count. Killing the boss used up all 7 of my custom incendiary rounds, But the Deadwood Tactical Desert Eagle is a bronze tier weapon with a special trait, auto reload. The moment the magazine empties, 1 round automatically replenishes per minute. I'd already tested this earlier. Even if a bullet isn't fired but simply removed, the effect still triggers. Because of this, the time spent crafting the incendiary rounds let the Desert Eagle replenish 3 rounds. Adding the time spent killing the boss, this Desert Eagle now has 6 bullets ready. More than enough to deal with these 3 trash bags in front of me. Trevor stares at the raised muzzle, freezes for a moment, then a more crazed smile spreads across his face. You dare bluff me with an empty gun? You think I scare that easily? Boys, he's gambling that we won't act. Pure bluster. Take him down together, the chest is ours, he bellows, his finger pressing hard on the crossbow trigger. But beside him, Leon and Leo feel something is very wrong, an ominous premonition rising in their hearts. The next second, their premonition is confirmed. A short muffled gunshot, Trevor's body jerks violently, his crossbow bolt still unfired. A precise bloody hole appears in the center of his forehead. The scorching bullet shreds his skull, red and white matter mixed with bone fragments spraying out the back of his head, splashing onto the 2 beside him. The arrogance and grin on his face freeze instantly, the light in his eyes rapidly fading. His body falls straight backward, the crossbow clattering onto the smooth marble floor with a soft sound. The world goes instantly silent. Leon and Leo are completely paralyzed with terror, their faces and clothes spattered with Trevor's blood and white matter, still warm from his death. Their minds go blank, frozen in place, forgetting to breathe, eyes nearly bulging out of their sockets, watching Trevor's corpse fall right at their feet, warm blood splashing onto them, the metallic stench of blood invading their nostrils and shattering their composure. A delayed scream finally tears out of Leon's throat. His legs give way and he collapses onto the floor, a foul-smelling liquid quickly spreading from his crotch. Don't kill me, please don't kill me! The chubby Leo reacts a little faster, dropping to his knees with a heavy thud, frantically kowtowing in my direction, pounding his forehead until it streams with blood. Both men wail, tears and snot running freely, a pathetic spectacle. My face shows no emotion, my eyes are ice cold. From the moment these 3 chose to use me as bait, their fate was sealed. I am no saint. Bang! The second gunshot, Leo mid-kowtow freezes instantly. The back of his head bursts open, his heavy body slumping forward, face landing in the pool of blood he himself created, silent forever. The last one, Leon, watches another warm corpse appear beside him, his mind completely shattering. He stops begging entirely, scrambling backward on all fours, making meaningless gibbering sounds, tears and snot smeared all over his face. I don't give him any more time to be afraid. Bang! The third shot. The bullet precisely ends his pathetic life. 3 corpses lie neatly in a row not far away. I slowly lower the Desert Eagle, a thin wisp of pale smoke still rising from the muzzle. The hall falls silent once more. My gaze returns to the bronze chest. Time to claim the victor's spoils. I walk straight to the center of the hall, to where the tyrant butcher dissolved into light. The bronze chest hangs suspended in midair, emitting a soft glow. I reach out, my fingertip touching the cold metal shell. A system prompt instantly appears in my mind. Open special bronze chest? Open, I answer mentally. The next second, the chest gives a soft click and bursts with brilliant light. The light quickly collects, and 3 items slowly drift out of the chest, hovering quietly before me. A series of system prompts ring out in my mind. Congratulations, you have opened a special bronze chest. You have obtained bronze storage pack. You have obtained energy crystal ×5. You have obtained bronze mutated butcher's sinew. My gaze first falls on the seemingly ordinary black backpack. I reach out and grab it. The pack's properties appear before me. Name, storage pack, tier, bronze, capacity, 3 cubic meters. Effect, built-in spatial stabilization structure, reduces stored item weight by 90%. 3 cubic meters. My eyes flash with delight, joy spilling out. That's equivalent to the volume of a large wardrobe. For survivors right now, this thing is a luxury. Earlier, when I was hiding, I stashed the heavy trekking pack under a shelf in the shop. I walk into the store, find the bulging black iron heavy trekking pack, and transfer the food, along with the tools I just looted, into the new storage pack. From the outside, the storage pack looks like an ordinary black backpack. When I open the top flap, the opening is like a black hole. Everything I drop in vanishes instantly. In return, I can clearly sense the thing sitting in the space inside. I sling the pack onto my back, and the heavy weight disappears instantly, the pack barely noticeable. Next, I turn my eyes to the 5 crystals floating in midair. Each is only the size of a thumb, an irregular polyhedron, with light slowly swirling inside, radiating pure energy. Name, energy crystal. Tier 1. Type, universal energy material. Description, the foundational hard currency of the infinite survival world. Can be used to accelerate omni-cube synthesis, power safehouse modules, and serve as a core material for crafting and upgrading many high-tier items. Direct absorption can slowly raise personal tier rank and activate talents, but the conversion rate is extremely low, not recommended. Hard currency. I repeat the words in my mind, committing them to memory. This means that energy crystals are worth far more than any basic supplies. In future trades, these will be in very high demand. I carefully place all 5 energy crystals into the storage pack. The last item is a strange, semi-translucent gray-green stalk. Name, mutated butcher's sinew. Tier, bronze. Type, material. Description, a core biological fiber stripped from the otherworldly mutated creature tyrant butcher. Possesses exceptional toughness and elasticity. Excellent material for crafting flexible armor, high-tension bowstrings, or specialty weapon components. Good stuff. I make a mental note. I can't use it now, but with the Omni-Cube, this will definitely come in handy later. I pack the sinew away too. With the chest's loot inventoried, I turn and walk toward the corpses of Trevor and the other 2. The bodies are still warm, the blood pools on the floor not yet fully congealed. I crouch down, searching Trevor's body with practiced ease. Quickly, I pull out several compressed biscuits, half a bottle of water, and the black iron crossbow that had threatened me. The crossbow's craftsmanship is a bit rough, but the limbs are sturdy, gleaming with metallic luster. The instant my fingertip touches the cold body of the crossbow, a new system prompt suddenly rings in my mind. Player Omni has obtained the 5th black iron item. Beginner instance mission abandoned commercial street completed. Mission objective 1, collect black iron items 5 out of 5. Mission objective 2, collect 1 bronze tier item. Mission completion 100%. Instance extraction point activated. Please proceed to the extraction point within the time limit. Along with the prompt, a translucent map unfolds before my eyes. A top-down view of the entire instance. At the location of the mall's main entrance, a green arrow flashes non-stop, with a dotted line stretching from my current position all the way to that green arrow. With a single thought, I tap the green arrow. Extraction point Qingyang Road bus stop. Location, 490 feet east of the mall's main entrance. Extraction method, clean exit, direct extraction. Time remaining 17 hours, 3 minutes, 21 seconds. The extraction point is just outside the mall, not far at all. I glance at the countdown, plenty of time. But the fact that the extraction point displays an extraction method means there are options beyond just direct extraction. I can't help thinking back to a game I used to play on Blue Star, a wildly popular extraction shooter, Delta Force. I pull my mind back. I don't move out immediately. Instead, I continue what I was doing, stripping Leon and Leo's bodies clean. These two were broke. Aside from a few packs of biscuits, nothing of value. But soon, a pleasant surprise comes. I pull a bulging small bundle from Leo's body. Name, common small material pack. Contents, wood times 30, stone times 20. Rating, a common type of small material pack, useful in many places. A material pack. I'm surprised. I didn't expect that materials like wood would be obtained through packs like this. I'd thought you'd have to chop trees or mine ore. Turns out it works this way. But I quickly realize, if it weren't this way, gathering them piece by piece would be way too slow and impossible to carry, especially since this instance is an urban map. As long as the material pack stays unopened, it remains a small bundle, about the size of 2 palms. I still drop it into the pack. With everything done, I slowly stand. The mall hall is empty. No one but me, eerily silent. The boss is dead by my hand, and the players who came for the chest are all corpses. To me, this mall is now an undefended treasure vault. An ordinary person might choose to extract immediately, locking in what they've already gained. But looking at the stalled escalator leading to the 2nd floor, I have other ideas. The risk is already very low, and opportunity is sitting throughout this entire building. I close the map interface, the green arrow vanishing. I have plenty of time. I can keep searching. The mall's supplies are all waiting for me to claim. But I'm not going up to the 2nd floor yet. There are 3 corpses I haven't searched yet. I remember one of them wore a full set of gear, and according to his lackey, he also had a special safe house. I just don't know what good stuff he might have. Filled with anticipation, I walk to the other side of the hall where Walter's body lies. Claws have torn through his chest, his neck a mangled mess. His black iron plate armor is twisted and warped, a gaping hole in the chest, the metal edges curled inward smeared with congealed blood and flesh. I crouch down before him, the heavy stench of blood hitting me. Just as I'm about to remove the plate armor, a faint white glow suddenly appears on Walter's corpse, quickly gathering at the punctured chest. Within the light, a palm-sized blacksmith's hammer slowly takes shape, radiating bronze-colored light. Special safe house owner Walter detected as deceased. Special safe house module dropping. My hands pause. So when a special safe house owner dies, there's a chance their core module drops. I hadn't considered this. I reach out, my fingertip touching the floating hammer projection. Name, upgradable workbench module. Type, safe house facility module. Tier, black iron. Effect, deploys a basic workbench inside the safe house, allowing the owner to repair, dismantle, and craft items and unlock basic recipe blueprints. Upgrade requirements. Wood 0/1000th, stone 0/500th, metal 0/100th, tier 1 energy crystals 0/10th, a workbench module. And it can be upgraded. My eyes blaze with intensity. I know exactly how valuable this is, far more than everything else I've gained combined. The storage pack, energy crystals, and butcher's sinew are all just personal strength materials. But this workbench is a functional module that operates directly on the safe house, representing productivity. With this, I can repair gear, even craft new tools and weapons, without having to rely entirely on Omnicube synthesis. More importantly, the Omnicube has a limited number of synthesis slots, and crafting high-tier items takes time. The workbench can serve as a backup, handling the low-tier and tedious crafting, freeing up the cube's synthesis slots for more important syntheses. Most crucially, it's an upgradable module. It may be black iron now, but as long as the upgrade requirements are met, bronze and silver are no problem. Most modules players obtain cannot be upgraded at all. That's exactly why this special upgradable module is so precious. And conversely, I naturally think of something else. Once word gets out that special safe house owners have a chance to drop special modules upon death, special safe house owners will become the prime targets in most people's eyes. I pocket it without a second thought and get back to work. Using my entrenching shovel, I roughly pry open the buckles on Walter's plate armor, stuffing the shattered arm guards and leg pieces into my pack. The damaged black iron plate armor, durability 17 out of 100, can serve as synthesis material. There's also that black iron steel axe lying off to the side, completely intact. You can never have too many melee weapons, and it works as synthesis material too. As for Walter's 2 underlings, I give them a glance and search casually. Confirming the 2 paupers have nothing else of value, I finally stand up. The first floor of the entire mall remains deathly silent, 7 corpses scattered in disarray across the floor. I glance at the escalator leading to the second floor. 17 hours remain on the clock. Leaving now would already mean a substantial haul, but my choice is to maximize the gain. The danger is cleared. What remains is loot scattered everywhere. I'm not in a hurry to go upstairs. Instead, I begin a carpet search starting from the first floor. Experience tells me that a systematic sweep is far more efficient than wandering around like a headless fly. First target, the brand name sporting goods store. I skip past the ordinary clothing and shoes, my gaze sweeping precisely across the functional gear section. Among a row of hiking shoes, a plain-looking pair of black high-top boots emits a faint glow. That tells me they're not ordinary grade. Name, trekker's boots. Tier, black iron. Effect, slightly increases movement speed, reduces stamina drain from long-distance travel. I swap out my sneakers, slip on these black iron boots, and feel a perfect snug fit around my ankles. My footsteps feel noticeably lighter. Next, in the accessories section, I find a multifunction tool. Name, Artisan's Multi-Tool Pliers. Tier, black iron. While not particularly useful to me, it's still a black iron item. In the digital products store next door, most of the equipment is already junk. In the corner of one counter, I find a glowing high-capacity power bank. Name, Ultra Endurance Power Bank. Tier, black iron. Effect, provides energy temporarily, equivalent to 3 Tier 1 energy crystals. A solid find. I keep sweeping. Jewelry stores, cosmetic shops, and luxury boutiques get skipped entirely. After an hour, most of the first floor shops are searched. Aside from those first 3 items, no other black iron gear turns up. My footsteps finally stop at the far end of the first floor, in front of a large outdoor gear specialty store. The glass door is locked from the inside. I step back 2 paces, and with my trekker's boots, I plant a hard kick right at the seam of the glass door. The tempered glass shatters instantly, turning into a floor of glittering granules. I step inside. The store is filled with a mixed smell of plastic and rubber, shelves loaded with windbreakers and hiking packs, the floor stacked with trekking poles, ice axes, and folding shovels. This place is practically a treasure vault tailored for survivors. I quickly find a machete in a row of blade display cases. Name, Jungle Machete. Tier, black iron. That's my 4th piece. I continue deeper into the store, rounding the shelves to find the storage area and staff break room. The storage area is stacked with unopened cargo boxes. I pry open a few. Most contain tents and moisture-proof mats. Just as I'm about to leave, my footsteps suddenly halt. Behind a pile of miscellaneous boxes, an iron gray box that doesn't match its surroundings catches my eye. A safe, half a meter tall, perfectly square, with thick steel plating, a complex mechanical combination dial, and a keyhole on the door. I walk over and crouch down, fingers brushing across the cold metal exterior. Special locked container detected. Name, heavy-duty safe. Tier, unknown. Status, locked, dual locked by combination and key. Likely contains valuable items inside. Forced destruction may damage the contents. Unknown tier. Those 2 words make my breath catch for a moment. In the world of Crucible of Worlds, infinite survival, unknown usually represents 2 possibilities. Either a tier far beyond current player understanding, or an exceptionally valuable rare item. Either way, it means a massive opportunity. I try to pull up the OmniCube's synthesis panel. Target item contains special rules. Cannot be used directly as synthesis material. As expected. I stand up and circle the safe. The body is perfectly sealed, no weak points. Forced destruction risks damaging the contents. That's the worst option. So I need to find clues. The combination and the key. My gaze slowly turns toward the closed door beside me, the sign on it reading manager's office. I walk straight over. The door is ordinary wood, the lock intact. I raise my foot. The toe of my trekker's boots hits the lock core precisely. With a loud crack, wood splinters fly and the entire lock along with a small piece of the door frame is kicked clean off. The door swings inward. I push through and a fermented foul stench hits me in the face. The smell is shockingly strong. The manager's office is small, simply furnished. A desk, an executive chair, a toppled filing cabinet beside it, papers scattered all over the floor. The source of the stench is behind the desk. A man slumped face down on the desktop, his upper body soaked through with dried black bloodstains. There's a fist-sized hole in his back. The wound flared outward, as if something killed him with a single strike from behind. Looking at this corpse, surprise flashes in my eyes for the first time. There were other people in this instance. The thought rises, but I quickly suppress it. Something's off. The reason is simple. The corpse is already heavily decomposed and bloated, dead for more than a day or 2. That means this corpse was already inside the instance. After all, our group of survivors just entered today. My gaze lingers on the body, contemplative, but I quickly let it go. Whatever the situation, my goal right now is clear. The key and the combination. I circle behind the desk and reach out to search the stiff, swollen body. The sticky, slimy texture of the rotting clothing doesn't slow my movements for a second. Soon, I pull a lanyard from around the corpse's swollen neck, with a brass-colored safe key tied to the end. Key acquired. My gaze sweeps across the entire room, searching for the next clue. The toppled filing cabinet, scattered papers, the decorative painting in the corner. My eyes finally lock onto the dark computer monitor on the desk. On the black frame of the monitor, a damp, slightly curled yellow sticky note is stuck. Written on it in black marker is a hastily scrawled string, 147258. Just as I'm about to leave, a faint white glow appears, catching my attention. I let out a soft hum and turn to look. The dark phone beside the corpse now has its screen lit up. I pick it up and tap it open. The phone actually still works. Right now, the interface is locked on a chat window. The sender's name is Simon. The message is short, but the information is massive. Dad, Sencheng is currently experiencing an outbreak of a new virus. It's too late to stop it. I'm safe at the research institute. You need to find a place to hide right now. Don't go outside. But Simon's father, this manager, never replied to the message. Looks like it came too late. Sencheng, a virus. Combined with the butcher's horrifying form, it's not hard to guess. This city is Sencheng, and that virus sounds a lot like a zombie virus. So this instance isn't as simple as it seems. I rein in my thoughts and put down the phone. I've tested it. This phone can't be taken out. I take one more look, then turn and walk back to the storage area, returning to the iron gray heavy-duty safe. I crouch down, insert the brass key into the keyhole and turn it. With a click, the mechanical structure around the keyhole activates. I extend my finger and start turning the heavy mechanical combination dial. In the quiet storage room, all that remains is the faint clicking of gears turning. 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8. When the final digit aligns with a crimson mark, with a muffled boom, the heavy mechanism releases, and the steel door, several inches thick, automatically pops open a crack. I reach out and pull the door open. Inside, there's no gold or silver treasure, only 3 soft orbs of white light floating quietly in the center. Each orb wraps around an item. My hand reaches toward the first orb. Module, basic arrow tower. Type, safe house attack module. Tier, black iron. Effect, can deploy 1 basic arrow tower outside the safe house. The tower automatically attacks hostile targets within 50 meters. 1 arrow is auto-generated every 10 seconds, or you can resupply manually. Note, please replenish materials at all times since arrows don't materialize from thin air. An attack module. My eyes sharpen. This means the safe house finally has active attack capability. I no longer have to handle everything personally. At least against low-tier monster swarms, the safe house itself can form a deadly line of fire. The 50-meter range covers the area around the safe house easily. The strategic value of this thing far exceeds my Deadwood Tactical Desert Eagle. I haven't forgotten there's a place called the Purgatory Battlefield waiting ahead. I store it in my storage pack and turn to the second orb of light. The light fades, revealing an exquisite white ceramic toilet model in front of me. Module, lavatory. Type, safe house facility module. Tier, black iron. Effect, can deploy 1 toilet inside the safe house with complete purification and waste disposal functions to keep the safe house interior clean. My expression stays blank, but I understand exactly how valuable this is. It looks ordinary, but in an apocalypse, solving sanitation issues eliminates a massive source of infection and disease. A shelter capable of long-term survival needs living facilities just as much as defensive ones. This is the foundation of survival. I store this item too. Finally, all my attention falls on the brightest orb in the center of the safe. I have a feeling. This item is the biggest prize of all. I reach out, fingertips touching the orb of light. The light bursts open, transforming into a stream of information flooding my mind. Congratulations, Player Omni. You have obtained a special item, Tier 2 Safe House Upgrade Blueprint. A faintly glowing parchment scroll rests quietly in my palm. On the scroll, drawn in silver lines, is the blueprint of a building several times larger than my current small wooden cabin, with a far more intricate and sturdy structure. Name, Tier 2 Safe House Upgrade Blueprint. Type, Special Blueprint. Tier, Bronze. Effect, once used, upgrades your Tier 1 Safe House Omni Cabin to a Tier 2 Safe House. Upgrade requirements, wood 0 out of 600, stone 0 out of 300, metal 0 out of 200, Tier 1 energy crystal 0 out of 10. Upgrade effects, safe house base area expanded, defense significantly increased, module capacity increased, additional exclusive functions unlocked. Tier 2 safe house. My gaze suddenly sharpens. The arrow tower module just gave me claws for self-defense, but this blueprint puts me a full tier ahead of every other player. The tier of your safe house is the foundation of survival in this world. A Tier 1 safe house is just a starting point, a place to survive the rookie phase. Only by constantly upgrading can you face the more dangerous challenges ahead. And now I already hold the ticket to the next tier. The amount of upgrade materials needed is large, especially the 200 units of metal, but I have the Omnicube. With enough low-tier materials, synthesizing high-tier materials is just a matter of time for me. I put it away. My gaze turns toward the second floor of the mall. The second and third floors are still unsearched. Meanwhile, on the other side, the last person remaining in the instance besides me, the final survivor, Roger, is standing outside a peculiar shop, a pharmacy whose name doesn't even appear on the instance map. The search of the second floor goes much faster than the first. Most shops have already been ransacked with nothing worth taking. In the storage room of a sports brand, I find a second medium material pack, containing 200 units of wood, 150 units of stone, and 30 units of metal. On top of that, I find 2 more black iron items, a black iron windproof jacket that resists cold and wind, and another black iron item that slightly boosts swing speed. I store everything in my pack and glance at the escalator going up to the third floor. There's nothing else worth finding on the second floor, so I head for the escalator, ready to check out the third floor. Meanwhile, at a street corner several hundred meters from the mall, on the edge of the instance, Roger carefully presses against a wall and peeks his head out, watching the unremarkable pharmacy on the corner. His breathing is rapid, his heart pounding. Just moments ago, the survivor count in the instance dropped from 10 to 2, one died, then another. The instance originally had 10 people, and now there are only 2 left. 10 survivors, and now it's just him and that other guy called Omni. A cold sweat breaks out on Roger's back. Good thing he was cautious enough not to get his head turned by that so-called treasure trove at the mall. That place was never a good place from the start. The facts prove his choice was right. Now, besides himself, only 1 survivor remains, and though the mall has been cleared, he's no fool. Omni is still there. Anyone who could survive that meat grinder and kill the boss is no easy mark, so of course he wouldn't go to the mall. Roger's attention returns to the pharmacy. This shop is strange. He originally came over here to complete the task and gather supplies, and to stay away from the mall, which is how he ended up searching this edge of the street. Wandering zombies appeared occasionally along the way, and he moved carefully toward this area. And he ended up discovering this strange shop. On the instance map, every store on this street has a marker, except this Sencheng pharmacy, which is blank. A building not on the map usually means one thing inside an instance, a hidden area. There's definitely good stuff inside. Roger takes a deep breath, confirms once more that there are no zombies around, then crouches and dashes across the street to the pharmacy entrance. The glass door has a closed for business sign hanging on it, the lock intact. He pulls a thin iron wire from his pack, something he picked up along the way. Just an ordinary wire, but in his hands it has plenty of uses. He works the lock core for half a minute, until with a soft click, the lock pops open. Roger pushes the door open a crack, listens for a moment, no movement. He slips inside and immediately closes the door behind him. The pharmacy interior is in shambles, medications scattered on the floor, several shelves toppled over, the air thick with the strange smell of medicine mixed with dust. It looks like someone has already searched the place. Roger doesn't care. If anything, it confirms his judgment. An ordinary pharmacy wouldn't be hidden from the map. He begins searching every corner carefully. Under tables, between shelves, the ceiling. Finally, behind a massive display cabinet that has been knocked over, he finds something out of place. The color of the wall is slightly different. He walks up and knocks on it. Knock, knock, knock. It's hollow. Roger's eyes light up. He immediately starts feeling along the wall. Soon, he finds a tiny groove at the edge of the corner. He pulls hard, and with a soft sound of stone scraping, the wall slides inward, revealing a pitch-black passage. A hidden door. A foul stench surges out from the passage, thicker than what's outside, mixed with blood and decay. Roger's expression shifts. A pitch-black passage like this clearly looks dangerous, but fortune favors the bold. Whatever's hidden this carefully has to be valuable. He hesitates for only a moment, then grits his teeth and pulls out a black iron spiked club from his pack. He holds the weapon in one hand, switches on his black iron fire flashlight in the other, and carefully steps into the dark passage. The passage isn't long, only about 10 meters. At the end stands a heavy iron door unlocked, just slightly ajar. Roger presses his ear against the door but hears nothing. He slowly pushes the iron door open. Behind it is a larger room, like an underground storage area, or rather a laboratory. Several large stainless steel cabinets line the walls with a lab table in the center. Glass containers and unrecognizable instruments are scattered across it. Just then, a low, suppressed wheezing sound comes from the corner of the room. Roger's hair stands on end instantly. He whips the flashlight beam toward the corner. A figure in a white lab coat stands with its back to him, body twitching unnaturally. The figure slowly turns around. The face is twisted, the skin a grayish decayed color. One eye already rotted away, leaving only a black hole, the other eye bloodshot and clouded. A zombie. And completely different from the slow-moving common zombies outside. Roar! The zombie sees the light and Roger lets out a hoarse roar, drops to all fours, and lunges at him like a wild beast, terrifyingly fast. Roger's pupils contract. He instinctively swings his club downward. Thud. The club connects solidly with the zombie's shoulder but only stalls its movement for an instant. This thing is strong. Before Roger can react, the zombie is already on him, opening its foul-smelling jaws wide, lunging straight for his neck. In the critical moment, Roger throws himself backward, rolls on the ground, and barely escapes the bite. He scrambles to his feet, heart pounding wildly. This thing is too vicious, not something he can handle. Run! The thought rises, but he sees the zombie already adjusting its posture again, preparing to pounce. No good. The passage is too narrow. He can't escape. He has to fight. A flash of cold fury crosses Roger's eyes. Reading the zombie's lunge trajectory, he doesn't retreat. He advances, twisting sideways, barely dodging the zombie's claws. At the same time, putting his entire body weight behind it, he rams the club straight into the zombie's rotted eye socket. The club sinks halfway in. The zombie freezes, lets out a piercing shriek, and starts thrashing wildly. Roger doesn't dare let go. He pushes against the club with all his strength, pinning the zombie against the wall. Die, die, damn you! He roars madly, veins bulging on his arms, driving the club deeper. Finally, the zombie's struggles weaken, until its head tilts to one side and it goes completely still. Only then does Roger release his grip. He collapses to the ground as if drained of all strength, gasping heavily. After a long while, he finally recovers. He glances at the zombie's corpse, still shaken. This must have been a special type of zombie. He stands up and walks over to the body, forcing down his nausea as he begins searching. Soon, from the pocket of the zombie's ragged lab coat, he pulls out a hard card. The card is white, with a small 1-inch photo on it. The man in the photo wears glasses, scholarly looking, exactly what this zombie used to look like in life. Below the photo, a line of small text reads, Sencheng 3rd Research Institute Affiliated Laboratory. Researcher, Lawrence. Sencheng? Research Institute? Roger freezes. He recalls the system notification before the instance began. Wasn't this instance just an abandoned commercial street? But combined with this off-map pharmacy, this hidden basement, and this zombie clearly mutated from a researcher, a thought rises in his mind. This pharmacy is a disguise. It's actually some kind of entrance to the research institute, or even part of it. Jackpot! This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Roger's heart starts pounding again, his eyes shining, his breathing turning ragged. He immediately starts searching the room thoroughly, missing no corner. He pulls open the stainless steel cabinets one by one. Most are empty or contain broken instruments. He doesn't stop searching. Eventually, his attention falls on the central lab table. At the base of the table, he discovers a hidden compartment that nearly blends in with the surface. The compartment has no lock, only a card-shaped slot. Roger immediately pulls out the researcher's ID card and inserts it into the slot. A faint electronic chime sounds, and then the floor in front of him silently splits open, and a metal platform rises slowly. In the center of the platform is the entrance to a passage extending downward, with white light glowing inside. The downward passage is lit with a glaringly bright white light, in stark contrast to the dim pharmacy outside. Roger's throat bobs as he swallows. The ferocity of that researcher's zombie still leaves him shaken. God knows what kind of monsters lurk beneath this glaring white light. But he's already here. A place hidden behind this many layers of security must contain the most valuable things in the entire instance. This is a life-changing opportunity. His breathing grows heavier, and slowly, greed wins out over reason. Going down means completing the task and getting good loot. Not going means regretting it for the rest of his life. Roger grips his spiked club tightly, veins bulging on the back of his hand. He clenches his teeth and steps into the passage. The passage isn't long, just a downward staircase. When he reaches the bottom step, the scene before him leaves his mind completely blank, his breathing stopping. This isn't a storage room at all, it's a true underground laboratory. The room is shockingly vast. The walls and floor are made of some kind of metal with a cold, ghostly sheen smooth as a mirror, immaculate. Around the perimeter stand various pieces of precision equipment, whose shapes he can't even name, their dim blue screens flickering with strings of garbled code. And in the center of the lab stands a massive cylindrical glass container. The container is a full 5 meters tall, filled with a thick, eerie dark green solution, countless tiny bubbles swirling and rising within. At the very center of the solution, a massive figure floats silently, bound by dozens of thick tubes. It's a humanoid monster over 3 meters tall. Its body is a sickly grayish white, muscles knotted, lines monstrous. Its arms have long since mutated into 2 enormous bone blades, each over 1.5 meters long, their edges gleaming with cold, ominous light. Even more terrifying, there's a huge, jagged hole in its chest. Its heart appears to have been ripped out alive, even though its eyes are tightly shut and it doesn't move at all. The sheer pressure of its mere existence makes Roger's legs go weak instantly, almost dropping him to his knees. Only one word remains in his mind: run. What the hell is this thing? How can a monster of this level exist in this instance? Is the system playing some kind of cosmic joke? His muscles lock up, cold sweat instantly soaking through the back of his clothes, freezing against his skin. But just as the urge to flee surges up, he forcibly pushes it down. He notices the monster is completely still, like a specimen. It's dead. Roger's heart pounds like a drum in his chest, but greed ultimately overpowers fear. He forces his stiff neck to turn, looking away, and begins searching the lab. He notices this hall seems to be only part of it. Behind the container holding the monster, there's another large door, but it's tightly sealed and can't be opened. Roger has already given up on exploring further into the research institute. Instead, he focuses on whatever valuable items might exist here, at least enough to meet the extraction requirements. His movements are extremely light, walking on tiptoe, barely daring to make any sound. With every step, the corner of his eye darts to the monster in the green container. Soon, a metal lab table in the center catches his attention. On the table sits an open hardcover notebook, Sencheng 3rd Research Institute Affiliated Laboratory, T-Virus Project Log. Roger holds his breath, leans in, and his eyes dart across the pages. The handwriting in the log starts neat but grows increasingly scrawled and frantic, revealing that the writer was experiencing a massive mental breakdown. The T-Virus's infectivity far exceeds expectations. Standard quarantine measures have failed. Sencheng's fall is only a matter of time. All hope rests on the gene optimization serum. It can fundamentally reshape human genes, theoretically providing perfect resistance to the T-Virus. But the first-generation prototype is extremely unstable. The failure rate is as high as 99%. It must be used together with the neural stabilizer or the user's brain will be overwhelmed by violent energy, mutating into a monster that knows only how to kill. 100 times more terrifying than the zombies outside. I place the stabilizer in the cryo storage cabinet next to it. The safe combination is my birthday, 0419. If you found this place, I assume you must be from the Institute. If you make it out alive, I hope you'll give my family a message. I have always loved you. Please live well, Lawrence. Roger pays no attention to the latter part of the log. Instead, the moment he sees the section about the gene optimization serum, his breathing instantly turns heavy, his eyes blazing with terrifying light. The gene optimization serum and the neural stabilizer, these are absolute treasures. He bolts to a small metal cabinet beside the lab table, the door clearly labeled cryo storage. He yanks the door open. A blast of icy white mist erupts from inside. Deep in the cabinet, sure enough, lies a syringe filled with clear liquid. He snatches the syringe in his hand. A system notification immediately pops up. Name, neural stabilizer. Tier, bronze. Effect, when using specific gene serums, protects and stabilizes the user's central nervous system, drastically reducing mutation risk. Bronze tier. Roger is ecstatic, and a system notification follows immediately, informing him that his extraction mission is complete and the extraction point is now open. Done. Roger immediately spins and rushes to another inconspicuous heavy-duty safe in the corner. His trembling hands turn the cold metal combination dial. 0419. With a crisp click, the safe pops open. As the heavy door swings slowly open, a flash of ghostly blue light flickers. On the velvet base in the center of the safe, a syringe rests quietly, the liquid inside a dreamlike ghostly blue, as if billions of crushed stars were sealed within. Name, Gene Optimization Serum, 1st-gen prototype. Tier, Silver, mutation. Effect, forcibly reshapes the user's genetic sequence, massively increasing all stats, with an extremely low chance of awakening a special bloodline. Warning, this is an unstable prototype serum. Solo use has a 99.9% chance of causing the user's genes to collapse, mutating them into an uncontrolled monster. Note, when used with the neural stabilizer, mutation risk is reduced to 10%. Silver tier. It's actually a silver tier item. Roger feels a rush of blood surge straight to his head. This is his ticket to the top in one shot. He reaches out, fingers trembling as he grabs for the syringe glowing with that ghostly blue light. The instant his fingertips touch the cold glass tube, warning, warning. High-risk experimental sample has been removed. Security protocol activated. The entire lab is suddenly bathed in blood-red light, a piercing alarm echoing through the underground space, the sound shrill enough to nearly pierce eardrums. Roger is terrified out of his wits by the sudden change. His eyes instinctively dart to the massive green container. The previously calm green solution begins to boil violently, countless bubbles surging up with loud gurgles. The 3-meter-tall horror suspended in the center, its eyes that had stayed shut, the eyelids seemed to twitch. Meanwhile, on the 3rd floor of the mall, I have just finished stuffing a black iron remote control car into my already bulging storage pack. The RC car is decent, it comes with a built-in micro camera, making it an unconventional reconnaissance tool. The 3rd floor hall is sparse, mostly clothing and household items, nothing of real value. My storage pack is essentially full at this point. Wood, stone, metal, food, water, plus over a dozen black iron items, and most importantly the Tier 2 safehouse blueprint and the workbench module. This instance run's haul has already far exceeded my expectations. There's no point in spending the remaining time in obscure corners risking my life for some uncertain gain. Time to go. Just as I turn to head for the extraction point outside the 1st floor gate, a piercing shrill alarm faintly reaches my ears from the distance. The sound is far away, muffled by layers of buildings, but I can still tell it's some kind of highly unusual alarm. I stop, listening carefully. The source seems to be at the far end of the street to the right of the mall. An alarm means something has triggered a hidden mechanism or trap over there. Looks like that other survivor has found something significant. The thought of going to check it out flickers in my mind for only a moment before I completely snuff it out. The first rule, etched into the bones of any top-tier mercenary, is this. Never let uncontrollable curiosity put you in danger of an unmeasurable scale. My objectives are already more than complete. The resources in my pack are enough to boost my safe house to an entirely new level. Wading into that mess now. Unknown rewards, extreme risk, no understanding of the situation, danger or opportunity. Everything unknown. No reason to go. I don't hesitate for another second. I turn and start walking, heading toward the 1st floor. I make my way toward the Qingyang Road bus stop, not wanting to waste any time, ready to extract. Meanwhile, after the alarm went off, Roger is now sprinting here in a desperate flight for his life. Qingyang Road bus stop. This is the only extraction point marked on the map. When I arrive, the scene is chaos. A bus lying overturned on the ground, burned down to a charred black skeleton, shattered glass and metal fragments everywhere. The station's advertising board snapped off, tilted to one side. The air carries a smell of burnt char, mixed with a stench that makes you want to vomit. That's the extraction point. But 2 zombies are loitering near the station, looking exactly like something out of a movie. They wander aimlessly around the station, swaying unsteadily, occasionally letting out wheezing groans. I waste no movement, stepping out from the shadows at the side of the street, my footsteps light, making no sound. I don't pull out my Desert Eagle. Firing a gun makes noise, which might attract more zombies. Instead, I'm holding the black iron jungle machete I found at the outdoor store, the blade catching dim light. I head toward the closer zombie first. It seems to catch my scent, sluggishly turning its head, but my blade is already there. Schlick. The machete cleanly severs its rotting neck, and a decayed head rolls to the ground. Almost simultaneously, I drop my center of gravity. My right foot kicks off hard, and I launch forward instantly. The other zombie has just turned around when I'm already at its side. Blade up, blade down, same spot as before, clean and decisive. The second head flies off. The entire process is movement perfect, beginning to end in under 3 seconds. The 2 headless corpses crumple softly to the ground. A faint white light slowly emerges from one of them. I walk over and reach out to touch it. Obtained, Tier 1 Energy Crystal X1. Lucky break. I store the crystal and walk straight into the bus stop. A system panel automatically pops up in front of me. Extraction point reached. Extraction mission verification complete. Initiate extraction? Yes. I confirm silently, and the next second the prompt sounds, extraction countdown 10, 9, 8. Warning, any attack during extraction will forcibly interrupt the process. 10 seconds. I stand quietly at the bus stop, already calculating what to do once I'm back at the safe house. The haul from this instance is massive. First thing when I get back is upgrading to a Tier 2 safe house, then building the upgradable workbench, the basic arrow tower, and the lavatory. That way the safe house's defense, production, and living capabilities will all see a major upgrade, especially the workbench. With it, I can produce items continuously, which is the foundation for future development. There's still some wood, stone, and metal in my pack, but it's not enough to meet the upgrade requirements. I'll need to go back and trade on the trade market to get more materials. As for the black iron equipment, I can keep 2 for myself and toss the rest into the Omnicube to see what they synthesize into. No, I can also trade some of them. Extraction countdown 7, 6. Just then, roar! A terrifying roar suddenly explodes from the far end of the street. The sound penetratingly powerful, making my ears ring. My thoughts are instantly cut off. The sound comes from the direction of the earlier alarm. Almost simultaneously, a blood-red system notification flashes up. Warning, instance hidden boss, giant mutant has been activated. All survivors are advised to take caution. Killing the giant mutant rewards a silver tier boss chest X1. Silver tier! My pupils contract. A silver tier chest must contain extremely valuable items. The temptation is real, but I hesitate only for an instant before calming down completely. Extraction countdown 4. Only the last few seconds remain. Challenging a hidden boss for an uncertain silver chest. The risk is too high, not worth it. I don't like to gamble. And on top of that, a silver tier boss chest means this boss is a full tier above the tyrant butcher in strength. Even if I went, I might not even win. The thought just flashes by. I don't even bother turning my head. But the next second, a violent rush of air comes tearing in from the distance. I instinctively turn to look, and at the end of the street, a figure is stumbling and crawling, sprinting toward me with everything he has, looking as wretched as can be. It's Roger. His face is filled with terror, looking as if his soul has fled. He's only running on instinct. Behind him, a massive figure over 3 meters tall is chasing him down at even greater speed. It's a humanoid monster, entirely grayish-white, muscles bulging, terrifying in appearance, both arms transformed into huge bone blades over a meter long, edges gleaming with cold light. Most horrifying of all, there's a massive hole in its chest, hollow inside. The giant mutant. Its speed is like a blur, and the gap between it and Roger is closing fast. Roger sees me at the bus stop, and a flicker of hope ignites in his desperate eyes. "Save me!" he yells with everything he has, his voice cracking. "Save my life. I got a silver tear, Gene." His words cut off. Shh. A grayish-white blur flashes across his body. The giant mutant's bone blade pierces straight through his back and out through Roger's chest. The expression on his face freezes completely. He lowers his head, staring in disbelief at the section of pale bone blade jutting out of his chest, coated in blood and shreds of viscera. The giant mutant lets out an impatient growl, then violently swings its huge bone blade arm. Roger's body is flung straight off, arcing through the air, and slamming directly toward my position. Extraction countdown, 3, 2. My body tenses instantly. I shift my footing slightly. The next second, Roger's corpse crashes down less than half a meter in front of me, hot blood splashing across my pants leg. The body skids along the ground briefly before coming to rest at my feet. At that moment, a streak of ghostly blue light emerges from Roger's body. My heart leaps. My eyes lock onto that blue glow. Extraction countdown, 1. After flinging Roger away, the giant mutant's blood-red eyes instantly lock onto the only living person left in the instance. It roars and explodes forward on all fours, its massive body charging straight at me. The bone blade that just pierced through Roger's chest is raised high, slashing down toward my head, but in that very instant I move, lightning fast. In the second before the countdown hits 0, I drop low, my right hand reaching swiftly and precisely into that ghostly blue light. My fingers meet something ice cold. I grab what's inside. 2 syringes, one filled with clear liquid, the other glowing ghostly blue. No time to grab anything else. The instant my hand closes around them, the giant mutant's blood-soaked bone blade is already slashing down at my face. Extraction successful! A flash of white light. My body dissolves into countless points of light 0.1 seconds before the blade lands. The massive bone blade slams down on empty ground, carving a half-meter deep crack. The white light swallows everything. The piercing roar and the smell of blood vanish in an instant. The world falls into dead silence. I'm back in my wooden cabin of less than 10 square meters. Wooden floorboards beneath my feet. The smell of rot and blood from the instance is gone, replaced by the clean, fresh scent of wood. I'm safe, but I don't let my guard down. I immediately open my right hand. In my palm rest 2 cold syringes, one with clear liquid, the other holding the liquid that glows ghostly blue, looking eerie in the dim cabin. Name, Gene Optimization Serum, 1st Gen Prototype. Tier, Silver, Mutation. Type, Special Serum. Effect, forcibly reshapes the user's genetic sequence, granting massive increases to all stats. However, as a 1st-generation prototype, the serum is extremely unstable. Solo use carries a 99.9% chance of causing genetic collapse, mutating the user into an unspeakable horror. Note, a mad attempt born of desperation. It is both hope and a one-way ticket to hell. Name, Neural Stabilizer. Tier, Bronze. Type, Support Serum. Effect, effectively calms and stabilizes the user's overactive nervous system. When used with a Gene Optimization Serum 1st Gen Prototype, reduces mutation failure rate to 10%. Note, sanity is more precious than power. A Silver Tier Serum. My gaze stays calm. Even with a stabilizer, a 10% failure rate for me still means betting my life on long odds. I'd be gambling my life on a possibility. But if it works, the reward is enormous. I'd gain a massive leap in power, possibly enough to advance to the next tier. After thinking it through, I return to calm and carefully place both serums in the deepest part of my storage pack, separated from everything else. Now isn't the time to use them. What I need is absolute certainty, not handing my life over to luck. Just as I finish organizing my thoughts, the system panel pops up again, lines of pale blue text rapidly refreshing, and system prompts sound continuously. Tier 1 instance, abandoned commercial street has ended. Conducting instance settlement. Detected, player Omni successfully extracted the following items from the instance. Gene Optimization Serum, 1st Gen Prototype, Silver Tier X1. Neural Stabilizer, Bronze Tier X1. Tier 2 Safe House Upgrade Blueprint, Bronze Tier X1. Simple Combustion Furnace Module, Bronze Tier X1. Upgradable Workbench Module, Black Iron Tier X1. A long list of items scrolls past, finally stopping. Total, Silver Tier items X1, Bronze Tier items X4, Special Blueprints X1, Special Modules X1, Common Modules X2, Black Iron Tier items and materials X7. Item Value Assessment complete. Conducting Overall Player Behavior Evaluation. The text on the panel pauses briefly. Combat Evaluation, Tier 1 Early Phase Zombies X3, Tier 1 Mid-Phase Boss, Tyrant Butcher X1. Rating, A rank. This result is within my expectations. I've kept the focus on scavenging. But the next line makes me raise an eyebrow. Exploration Evaluation, discovered and opened the Hidden Area Manager's office safe, triggered and evaded the Hidden Boss Giant Mutant. Rating, S rank. S rank? Just discovering and avoiding it earned an S rank evaluation? Then my breath catches for a moment. Sure enough, the next second a prompt in completely different formatting appears. Special Contribution Evaluation. In the final moment before instance closure, successfully extracted critical hidden special items from the hidden boss area, gene optimization serum, first gen prototype, neural stabilizer. Rating, triple S rank. The overall rating progress bar fills its final segment, and with a chime, large text lights up in the center of the panel, the glow almost blinding. Congratulations, player Omni. Your final rating for this instance is triple S rank. Triple S, the theoretical highest rating in the universal survival system. Since player Omni has achieved the first triple S rank in this region, this glorious achievement will be announced across the entire regional channel. Begin announcement? An announcement too? I'm stunned for a moment but quickly recover. It doesn't look like something I can refuse, and I'm not worried about going public anyway. Fine, make it public. Hiding isn't my style. Confirm. The thought fixes in my mind. Almost simultaneously, in region 10086, every player hears a special notification, and a special pinned message appears in the regional channel. Regional channel announcement, pinned. Congratulations to player Omni, who, in the Tier 1 instance abandoned Commercial Street, through outstanding intelligence and unmatched courage, achieved a triple S rank perfect evaluation, becoming the first player in this region to earn this honor. Reward forthcoming. The announcement explodes through the regional channel like a bomb. Holy crap, am I seeing things? Triple S rank? Is the system glitching? It's only been 1 day. 1 day and someone's already cleared an instance and gotten a triple S evaluation? Omni, oh my god, who is this legend? I'm willing to follow you, god. This is absolutely a god tier player. While others are still risking their lives over a piece of bread, he's already farming god tier evaluations. I just barely crawled out of the instance New City Commercial Plaza alive. Rating C. Only got 1 Tier 1 instance key as reward. The gap between people is just way too big. What did the legend even do in there? How much loot did he collect to earn this rating? My guess is he must have achieved some kind of hidden condition. People who've cleared instances before said evaluation is based on both kills and resource collection. The chatter in the regional channel doesn't concern me. My attention is entirely on my own rewards. Detected, you have earned the first triple S rank evaluation in this region. Rewards doubled. Triple S rank special reward being distributed. Congratulations, you have received 1 special reward selection opportunity. Please choose 2 of the following 3 rewards. 3 options appear on the panel. Option 1, Tier 2 instance key X1. Option 2, Tier 1 instance key X3. Option 3, Special instance key, Sensheng 3rd Research Institute X1. 3 options, choose 2. My eyes scan across them, my brain working at high speed. Option 2, 3 Tier 1 keys. The safest choice, 3 more chances to scavenge resources. Tier 1 instances are the same level as abandoned Commercial Street, and the monsters inside generally shouldn't exceed Tier 1. The reason I say shouldn't is because the giant mutant in that last instance was a clear warning. My gaze lingers on it only half a second before I rule it out completely. Steady development equals slow suicide. In this world, stand still and you fall behind. Move slow and you die. I need explosive growth, I need to be ahead of everyone. And besides, low-tier items I can synthesize myself. So the choice comes down to 1 and 3. A Tier 2 instance is the fastest standard path to power. Higher level challenges, richer rewards. Clear it and my strength leaps again. As for option 3, Special instance key Sensheng 3rd Research Institute. My pupils contract slightly, my expression turning gray for the first time. This option is extremely unusual. According to the system's prompt, it seems to have appeared entirely because I obtained the 2 special serums and found the hidden location, manager's office, where I saw the hidden information. Based on what I saw earlier, the instance appears to be located in a city called Sensheng, and inside that city, a virus outbreak occurred. Something like a zombie virus. The zombies on the streets and those 2 monsters all confirm it. I don't know why the manager didn't turn into a zombie, but this option clearly indicates the possibilities it holds. Better resources, more potential. The 2 serums alone make that obvious. The choice seems clear. My eyes lock onto the panel, falling into thought. Thinking rapidly, I push aside all distractions. 3 Tier 1 keys are stable but ordinary. For players still struggling with basic survival, this might be a life-changing reward. But for me, it's the worst value choice. It would only drag me into slow decline. What I need is overwhelming growth, leaving everyone else far behind. 3 Tier 1 keys clearly can't do that. My gaze leaves the second option without any reluctance. So that leaves 1 random Tier 2 instance key and 1 special instance key called Sensheng 3rd Research Institute. One is a standard advancement path, the other a special opportunity carrying massive risk. A Tier -2 instance has higher level monsters and more dangerous environments, but the rewards in materials and equipment quality are also higher. As for the name Sensheng 3rd Research Institute, it's seductive on its own. It connects with the gene optimization serum, the neural stabilizer, the giant mutant. All these clues all point to the epicenter of the virus outbreak. There must be special rewards there that ordinary instances can't offer. An ordinary person might hesitate, weighing risk against reward. But I think differently. The principle I follow, turn every advantage I can grasp into my own power. That's the only way to get strong once and stay strong forever. I'm already in this so-called survival world, and given the system's tendency to force players into instances, plus the even more terrifying purgatory battlefield in the future, the tone is already clear. Not fighting equals death, so there's no need to even choose. My fingers slide across the virtual panel, simultaneously tapping options 1 and 3. I choose 1 and 3. Selection confirmed. Congratulations, player Omni, you have received Tier 2 instance key X1, Special instance key Sensheng 3rd Research Institute X1. Light flashes and 2 keys with completely different textures appear in front of me out of thin air. One is bronze-colored engraved with intricate patterns, the digit 2 in the center radiating pressure. The other is silvery white, twisted in shape, resembling a distorted 3, its surface flowing with ghostly light. I close both keys in my palm, feeling the cold metal. Without another glance, I place them along with the 2 serums into the deepest part of my storage pack. The gene optimization serum is my crucial future trump card, but right now a 10% failure rate is still a significant risk. I need to lower that rate before I'll use it. As for how, I already have some ideas. With all that done, my tense nerves finally relax slightly. I begin taking stock of everything I've gained. My mind dives into the pack, and the inventory surfaces in my head. Tier 2 Safehouse Upgrade Blueprint, the upgradable workbench module, the basic arrow tower module, the lavatory module, the simple combustion furnace module blueprint, the mutated butcher sinew, plus over a dozen black iron items scavenged from the mall. Average quality, but plenty of them. There's also a large stock of food and water, enough to last me half a month easily. Finally, the basic materials. 230 wood, 170 stone, 30 metal. Any other player seeing this list would be green with envy. But my expression stays calm. I take out the Tier 2 Safehouse Upgrade Blueprint and tap Use directly. Blueprint used. Tier 2 Safehouse Upgrade requirement successfully unlocked. Please review at your discretion. The notification arrives, and I open the Safehouse panel. Safehouse Omni Cabin, Tier 1 Black Iron Tier, Durability 100 out of 100, Defense 5. Energy Reserve, not activated. Please first install an energy type module. 0 out of 0, installed modules. Upgrade requirements, wood 230 out of 600, stone 170 out of 300, metal 30 out of 200, Tier 1 energy crystal 6 out of 10. The material gap is huge. The 2 material packs I found in the instance only covered a small fraction of the requirements. And the Safehouse upgrade isn't the only thing that needs materials. I keep scrolling. Build, upgradable workbench module, requires 50% metal. Build, basic arrow tower module, requires 200 wood, 100 stone, 20% metal. Build, lavatory module, requires 50 wood, 20 stone, 10 metal. Reading through it all, the conclusion is clear. The materials I brought back don't even cover a fraction of the Safehouse upgrade. Even the most basic upgradable workbench can't be built because I'm 20 units of metal short. But that doesn't matter. I collected plenty of resources this time. Materials are limited, but I can absolutely trade. The trade market, currently the only platform for quickly exchanging resources. It's been only one day since everyone crossed over, and the vast majority of players are still risking their lives for a piece of bread or a bottle of clean water. These basic survival supplies are the hard currency of the trade market, and building materials like wood, stone, and metal are equally in desperate demand. As for equipment, Black Iron Tier is probably the highest grade most players can access at this stage, and I have the Omni Cube, with synthesis capabilities far surpassing anyone of this era. A clear plan takes shape in my mind. Those I see as useless, fit only as synthesis material, black iron items in the eyes of other players, those are life-saving treasures. The information gap and the awareness gap, that's where the money is. I can take these junk black iron items, synthesize and upgrade them through the Omni Cube into gear with better stats, then trade those for massive quantities of basic building materials. I might even be able to monopolize a specific category of equipment. The thought makes a faint smile curve my lips. I've already seen the path to massive resources. I take stock of the dozen-plus black iron items in my pack again. Trekker's boots, steel axe, plate armor, jungle machete. Enough. This is the seed capital I'll use to leverage the entire regional market. Without further hesitation, I open the trade market to see the current state of things. The panel unfolds, and countless listings flood in. The first thing I notice is a pinned trade post, urgent, 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 trading 1 unit of metal for 3 loaves of bread, or 1 bottle of water. The panel unfolds, a massive flood of information appearing instantly. The first thing I see is the pinned trade post. Urgent, 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 trading 1 unit of metal for 3 loaves of bread, or 1 bottle of water. The poster's ID is Lone Prairie Wolf. The avatar showing a muscular man with a clenched fist. The post was made 10 minutes ago, and there are already over a dozen replies below it. Brother, I've got bread. How do we trade? You went into an instance and couldn't find food? You're lying. The guy above doesn't know anything. He probably went into some mining instance, which means he's got to trade for food. Stop guessing. If you want to trade, come on. First 10 only. Looking at this trade post, I think for a moment. Seems pretty close to what I already guessed. There are many types of instances, not just urban ones. This guy got a mining instance, so he gathered a lot of materials, but unfortunately that also means he couldn't collect other supplies. That's different from my situation. I could collect plenty of equipment and items, but in turn the basic materials I got were limited. Counts as complimentary. Besides this post, most of the others are even more absurd. Please, can someone spare me some food? If this keeps up, I'm really going to starve to death. Most of the rest are people who don't even dare to enter instances and just sit around waiting for their starting supplies to run out and waiting to die. Either way, it shows the true state of players at this stage. Survival is the first priority. I study for a while longer and find that the trade market is clearly divided into 2 sections. On the left is the buy order section, where players can post items they need and what they're willing to pay, waiting for others to respond, just like the post I just read. On the right is the listing section, where players can list their own items directly with set prices, waiting for buyers to purchase. The system handles the transaction automatically, saving the hassle of communication, but takes a 1% transaction fee. I open the listing section first. Inside there's a wide variety of goods, but quality varies. Item, half bottle of mineral water. Price, wood X5 or stone X3. Stock, 1. Item, moldy bread X1. Price, wood X3. Stock 1. Item, black iron crude stone axe. Price, otherworld energy crystal X5. My eyes scan across these items. Most are basic survival supplies and low-tier tools. Food and water prices have been driven sky high. Clearly, many people are still unwilling to enter instances and can only hide in their safe houses, burning through their stockpiles. Makes sense though, even though I've already cleared an instance, the reality is it's only been 1 day since everyone crossed over to this world. As for that stone axe priced at 5 tier 1 energy crystals, that's truly absurd. Energy crystals are critical materials for upgrading to a tier 2 safe house, and someone is already willing to spend them on a beat-up axe. But regardless, this all proves how chaotic the market is and how unequal the information flow is, which is exactly my opportunity. I close the listing section and open the buy order section instead. The posts here cover everything. Buying clean water, any price negotiable, I'm dying of thirst. I have more wood than I can use. Trading for stone or metal, ratio negotiable. I scroll past these desperate posts, looking for useful information. Soon, a bolded pinned post catches my attention. Paying premium for 1 black iron tier or higher armor. Requirements, solid defense, good effects. I have large quantities of basic materials, price negotiable. Interested parties DM me. The poster's ID is Mythic Ares. The ID itself carries unabashed boldness and confidence, and this person's buying requirements are very specific, demanding good effects, which means he's probably already seen black iron equipment and has a clear understanding of the stat system. The key part is, this person claims to have large quantities of basic materials. Seeing this, my mind starts working. Isn't this exactly the perfect trade partner I've been looking for? Someone with no shortage of basic materials, but desperate to boost combat power? A whale player. But I don't contact him right away. Instead, I turn and pull out the damage plate armor I got after killing Walter. Equipment, damage plate armor, tier, black iron, durability, 15 out of 50. Effect, damage reduction. When durability stays above 30, negates 10% of incoming attacks. The effect is decent, but unfortunately it's heavily damaged and looks ragged, not exactly marketable. But that's no problem for me. With a thought, the Omni Cube panel unfolds in front of me. The cube is still tier 1 with 2 synthesis slots. I place the damaged plate armor into the first slot. After some thought, I decide not to waste any of my collected black iron items. Instead, I open a material pack and take out 5 units of metal. Metal X10. Without hesitation, I drop 10 units of metal ingots into the second synthesis slot. Synthesis recipe confirmed. Damaged plate armor, black iron tier X1 plus metal X10. Expected output, repaired plate armor, black iron tier. Begin synthesis? Begin synthesis. I confirm silently. The cube starts rotating, a soft glow enveloping both items. Synthesis in progress. Estimated time 5 minutes. Consume tier 1 energy crystal X1 to accelerate? 5 minutes. I can wait. So I select no and wait quietly. While I wait, I keep studying the trade market. My material gap is enormous right now. Beyond the safe house upgrade, building the upgradable workbench, basic arrow tower, and lavatory modules also requires substantial materials. I have to use this trade to acquire enough materials to complete the safe house's first major upgrade. 5 minutes pass quickly. Synthesis successful. The light fades and resting in the synthesis slot is a brand new piece of plate armor, gleaming with cold metallic light, its lines smooth and powerful. I reach out and take it. Sturdy plate armor, black iron tier. Type, equipment armor, durability, 100 out of 100. Effect, sturdy, slightly increases resistance to blunt damage. The repaired armor's effect has changed, from negate to sturdy. Hard to say which effect is better, but durability has increased to 100. Overall, I turned a piece of junk into something brand new with just 10 units of metal. This is the power of the Omni Cube. With a few materials, I can synthesize higher tier items and sell them at multiplied value. I open the buy order section, find Mythic Ares' post, and click DM. No small talk. I send a screenshot of the sturdy plate armor's stats directly. The instant the screenshot goes through, the other side responds, shockingly fast. Mythic Ares, brother, I'll take this armor. Name your price. My fingers tap lightly on the virtual keyboard. Wood 600, stone 300, metal 300. This price is almost exactly what I need for the tier 2 safe house upgrade. I'm testing his limits. After sending the message, the other side falls silent for a full half-minute. Just as I'm thinking he's been scared off by the price and preparing to lower my offer, a new message pops up. Mythic Ares, deal, but I need to try it first.